Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is my second video on my YouTube channel, and I just wanna, I, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the world today. A lot of negative influences. A lot of secular industries basically invading our modern way of life nowadays. And I I really don't know what to say about it. I mean, we all know that the secular industry is basically music that has to that usually includes talk of drugs or alcohol or booze or whatever you want to call that. And basically it's talking about how nowadays everyone's just saying, oh, well, it's a fine now, and I just want to say everyone may think it's cool. Everyone may think that it's the best thing in the world. I mean, I'll even admit I'm guilty of watching shows like Family Guy and American Dad, King of the Hill, stuff like that. But the thing is that most people don't realize is that there are so many other things that we could be doing with our lives nowadays. I mean, we can play video games. We can watch TV, and it doesn't even have to be like major violence and gore and everything else, which I'll admit is occasionally fun to watch. But my question for everybody is, how much is too much? Okay. I'll be the first to tell you, I did a paper for my English comp class up here in Lori for State Fair. And they my paper really set off some controversy in my class. Basically it was all about violent media and its effects in today's society. Everyone's got a different opinion about it. I mean, there are some researchers that say, well, violent media has a tendency to make children act out and act violent and everything else, cause violent acts upon other children, or whatever they want to say. My paper basically explained that while there may be a correlation between kids with violent tendencies and even some adults, and they're watching or playing or listening to violent media, there are other factors that need to be taken into account as far as the test group per se. The test group for those, I guess you want to say, researchers are usually people that have had a history of violence or have already committed an act of violence towards another human being or an animal or something along those lines. And a lot of people don't realize that that is what gives violent media its bad connotation. So, in other words, I mean, I guess it's not all bad. I mean, heck, it's like I said in my paper. I mean, whether I've grown up around violence from friends, family, Sometimes even teachers, if you're aware of a certain incident that took place in one of my grades. There was a there is the fact that some kids and adults have started being diagnosed as bipolar, which is passed down through family traits. So basically, what I'm saying is, even though there may be a correlation between violent media and violent outbursts, I don't think that's the reason for all of it. I think that there can be such a thing as kids with violent tendencies by nature and adults with them by nature and just anything. Like, take for instance, let's compare a kid with violent outbursts to, say, a pit bull that's been mistreated. Okay, you mistreat a pit bull, it's gonna snap, it's probably gonna attack you. On the other hand, let's say you mistreat a child for too long. They could grow up thinking violence is the answer. However, if you treat them kindly and raise them to realize, hey, this is violent, this is not, this violent thing is not the way to handle things, then I think they should be fine. So basically, I'm just thinking, what else can I say about it? It's crazy that so many people nowadays they think that blaming violent media for all these violent acts and outbursts and school shootings and everything else under the sun that could go wrong is the way to go. Well, I'm here to tell you that is not the only reason. So, I guess this is Brandon signing off for tonight. It's 10:24 at night, and I'm going to try and head to bed. All right. Peace, everybody.